Hey guys, Black Rose here. Um, so I kind of had a bad day, so I thought, to try to make a bad day at least a little bit better, I would play a little bit of Resident Evil with you guys. Um, so we're back at it. We're back in Resident Evil Zero. I did do a little bit of off-screen playing. Basically, what I did is after I got back on, I changed the characters' outfits because um, you can get extra outfits for the characters depending on which version of Resident Evil you choose to download. Right now, Rebecca is wearing her leather outfit, and our lovely prisoner now looks like a gangster, which is super cool. He looks super hot. Um, Unfortunately, what I said in the last video was a little off. Um, Resident Evil Zero does require ink ribbons to save each and every time. So right now, I what I said before still stands. Save as much as you can when you can, but when you're on the restriction of a certain number of ink ribbons, kind of like how Resident Evil 1 used to play way back in the day. Yes, you want to save as much as you can, but at the same time, be mindful of the number of ink ribbons you have on you. They have updated Resident Evil 1 to a newer version to where that game you can actually play it both with and without needing to gather ink ribbons to save your progress, but I digress on that. Um, I'll cover that a little bit more when we get to Resident Evil 1, which, like I said, every Resident Evil game is huge, so we're probably not going to get to Resident Evil 1 anytime soon. The only other thing I kind of did off screen is I did go back, gathered up a good portion of the herbs we left behind in the last video, combined them with Rebecca, and gave our partner character an extra deal of first aid spray. And we also went back up and got the latch hook that was in the room where we fought the big scorpion. And we went back to the kitchen and quickly opened that hatch up. So I made a little bit of extra progress without showing you guys, but it's a lot of little cutscenes that really don't matter too much in terms of videoing this. So please forgive me for doing all that. Um, so my goal now is to go back to the kitchen, go through that latch that we opened, and get into the back car, which leads to another situation where it's good we have two people because one character's got to hold down the latch to get an item we need to progress through the storyline while the other grabs the item we need. Um, I am going to go ahead and get back into it. So, this is Rebecca's new outfit. Doesn't she look darling? This is Billy's. He looks hot. What I'm gonna go ahead and have Billy do. Oops. Yeah, this is right. I'm gonna go ahead and have Billy leave the briefcase here. Um, we do need a couple of really special keys for it, so I figure the best way to ensure we have the space we need to get the items we need going forward. Um, Start leaving items that we don't need necessarily right away behind. I need to switch some ammo over. And I have figured out that by switching back and forth, I can actually give Billy more handgun ammo. That'll work for now. So what you saw me do is I went to the exchange and I gave Billy some more handgun ammo. That way he has plenty of ammo to work with. Oh, I didn't pick up that first aid spray. So when I was in the room again as Rebecca, where we got locked in and we had to do the whole find the ice pick thing with Billy, I did not pick up the second first aid spray. Just because right now we do have a lot of herbs, and right now Billy doesn't really need Billy doesn't really need anything else right at the moment. I also went back and I picked up those extra ink ribbons because, like I said, with Resident Evil 0, even though it's a little newer than Resident Evil 1, it does require ink ribbons to save, so I am not going to be saving quite as much as I did. I did override our last playthrough a little bit, but I did make sure I covered the same ground that I covered in the last video, so we should be on par with where I left off. I will say, because I've been through a few cutscenes, or been read through the cutscenes that you guys have already seen. When we do the cutscenes as part of the game, Rebecca and Billy will be in their original outfits, and then once we're back to playing as them, they go back to these outfits, which is confusing, but hey, I don't make the game. So our goal, like I said, is to first go and get into the latch in the kitchen, which I think I just went the wrong way. Yes, I did. Turns out that where we're going is actually to gain access to this little beauty right here. And what we need can be used by both characters if they have the room for it. However, my gut is telling me we'll want one character a little bit more movable, just because, yeah, like I said, I did try to play through this once earlier while recording, so I kind of know what to expect. And opting to just have one of the two characters go after this next segment was actually a good idea. It was good to have both of us through parts of this. But other parts, it's like when you, oh boy. Sorry, I forgot there were zombie dogs. Parts of this, it's like, really? Why do we need two characters for this? And it's mainly I still have my partner character following me, even if it is kind of redundant, just because on the off chance we do get separated and the other one gets attacked, I really don't want to have to struggle to figure out where they went. What do we got? Ooh, here's one of the rings for the briefcase. Sorry, my brain just turned off for a second. There's nothing really of value in this cage thing. It looks like there is, but it's primarily for the thing on the other side of this door, which we need a metal coil to fix this, which I do not know off the top of my head where that's going to be in the train, so I'm just kind of partially half doing this. This is where we get the latch hook here. So in order to get this part, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna have Billy stay put for a second, and I'm gonna have Rebecca grab this because she's got to hold it down while Billy here grabs this harpoon gun. Whoops. Or pull me and press the wrong button at the right time. I did not want to go back in this room. And yes, as long as you're going solo, your partner character will not move from where you left them. Thank goodness. Come on. Grab the hook shot. Thank you. And then here's Hookshot Operator's Manual. This device should only be used when inspecting difficult to access car roofs or when connecting special trains. Return this to its proper location after use. Where to use? There is a ladder outside the small window by the first floor section door of the third carriage. Fire the device so that it hooks high onto the ladder. After using the winch to climb, after securing the hook, use the winch to lift yourself up after grappling. This grappling hook can only lift one person at a time, but be aware that the unit may be damaged if lifting more than 80 kilograms. So, like I said, this is going to be a situation where you want to do this one person at a time. For now, we're going to go ahead and have Rebecca follow us around. I'm going to stay as Billy because right now he's the one with the hook shot. I hope this doesn't scare me again. So this door, it leads into the kitchen area. So now the little shortcut we took to get here is no longer needed. Okay, so here we go. Don't scare me again. Again, what is with you? Stupid zombie. So, let's see. Do you have room for two things? You do not. And neither do you. Okay. So, I'm not going to grab them because I haven't figured out what they're used for, but this little bottle in the refrigerator mixed with the gas tank container in the other room that we were just in, they make a Molotov, and what they are used for, I frankly don't know yet. There's parts of this game that I remember and parts I don't. As I play through the games, you'll see why, just because between fighting zombies and trying to figure out where to look for what, yeah, it's a lot. So we're going to go ahead and have Billy use the grappling hook, or the hook shot as they called it, to get up where he is. And now we're doing solo characters again. So this is literally as far as you go, and this leads to the passenger cabin. So we'll go ahead and be idiots and go, I believe I can fall into the cabin where, as you just saw, we had to fight a freaking zombie again. Handgun ammo is always good. Like I said in the last video, you can never go wrong with handgun ammo. And this is where it would be good to have an empty spot, because I believe, if I remember correctly, that little box that we saw in the closet is actually the other little ring for the briefcase. So since Billy is safe for the moment, I'm going to go ahead as Rebecca and head to the safety room for a moment. He should be safe as long as he's good to go. We got rid of the potential threat that was already in the room. I have learned playing this game, at least, that when you are required to bounce between characters, because you do that with Resident Evil 5 as well, it is always nice to make sure, no matter which character you are, you're safe before you switch characters. I mean, yes, there is always a possibility that something you're not planning for will come up. No. Trying to pick up the briefcase. Did I get it? Yes, I did. With Resident Evil, you never know what you're going to get. But like I said, with where he is at the moment, we will get the other key for that specific briefcase, which hopefully will give us the security card key that we need to unlock the electronic door at the back where we're stuck trying to get into the engine room. However, there is another key that we do need to find. Where we're going to find it, I don't know. Something tells me it has something to do with the Molotovs we're going to need to make at some point or another. So I am going to have Rebecca go up the stairs, because this is actually no longer going to be a dead zone. So you see all these weird, creepy crawlies? Yeah, they're about to come to life. So I'm going to have Rebecca go downstairs, just so she doesn't get attacked while I'm trying to get out of the room. Like I said, I did try this once before, so I apologize for making it seem like I know what's happening, but kind of had to. I kind of do know what's going to happen next. And it's nothing good. So we're going to get out of here. Time for the babies to hatch. That is just so gross. So with that, we can now actually get out of this room. And I pushed the wrong button. Sorry, when I'm still partially upset. I repeat myself, and it does not get fun. So these little guys are now out and about, free to roam. They're like little parasites. So the best thing I've known to do with them is to shoot them if you can. I'm going to go get Rebecca because she will shoot them off of you. And plus, right now, we need her to carry the other key for the briefcase that's in the closet. So it's like, let's just go get it now. So that way we're not worrying about it later. The slugs won't kill your character unless you're like really, really scary close to being dead. So that is always a good thing to keep in mind when dealing with those things. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Oh well. And there's our other key. Awesome. So now we got that back. So my next goal is going to be to, of course, go back to the safety room. And sorry, I keep calling it a safety room. I play way too much Left 4 Dead when I'm not playing this. I'm going to go back to the save room and combine this with the, sorry, that came out really loud, with the briefcase that's there so we can open it and get the security card that's in there. And then from there, we'll figure out what we're doing. I say from there we'll figure it out because I frankly do not know where to go once we get the badge and everything we need. Because the badge by itself, I'm going to leave the knife there for now. The badge by itself is not going to be enough to open the door we need access to. So for now, we're going to go this way, which gives us access to this room again. We literally just kind of did a 180. Ah. And I'm tired of those things. And yes, you can kill them, but unless you have a boatload of ammo, which I do my best to try to do, I do not recommend wasting a bunch of ammo trying to get past those things. Just shoot the ones that are attacking you and your partner and move on. Just because you're going to need all the ammo you can get come the finale. The green light that you do sometimes see on the screen when it's black is just my mic, so that way you guys can hear me. Although I'm pretty sure there's times when you probably think I don't need the mic because I am somewhat of a loud talker, but I want to make sure you guys can hear me clearly, so I use my mic just to make sure of that. So the override saves are not going to equal out to where we left off on the last video, just because, like I said, I did have to replay this a little bit just to get back caught up to where we left off on the last video, as well as kind of correct myself on some things. I know I said in the last video you could combine herbs and everything. So this says this is the security card you need to unlock that security door. But like the conductor note said, unfortunately, there is another card you need, but it's actually not a card at all. It's actually the lock where we need the magnetic coil. So we do need to get that found and going. So what I'm going to do, at least for right now, is check out our map. And I found out that these flashing lights that you see on the map, or you will be seeing on the map, are all the discarded items that I kind of left throughout the train. Luckily, I didn't leave anything on the roof. I'm not that stupid. So this is the second floor, which is pretty much, we've been all over this thing, which is good because we are doing good in terms of leaving so far, other than the 2 discarded items, which is I believe the farthest green one is the red herb. The other one, I am not sure. Oh, the one that looks like it's in a little corner office is a first aid spray that I left behind. The one in what looks like a hallway is definitely the red herb that I didn't pick up. In the safety room is going to be my mixed herbs that I set down to pick up the briefcase and the keys for the briefcase. So our final goal, at least to get to the next segment, to get to the actual head of the train, to start either the boss fight or what that leads to, is definitely finding out how to find the coil we need to get the sensor in the very back of the card working again, so we can enter a code to unlock to initiate the lock for the card to the door that we need to unlock to head to the engine of the train. Now that probably sounded like a huge mouthful, and it was, so I apologize for that. It is a lot to do, and I may briefly pause the game or just maybe call it here so I have time to look into how to find what we're looking for. Just because, as I've mentioned, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, like I said, I had a rough day, and when I'm upset, I tend to repeat. So please bear with me. Yeah, being upset with ADHD, you repeat a lot and your mind goes 10 million different ways. So, I think that's probably what we're going to do. We are going to stop here because this is a good stopping point for Resident Evil. I know this one is shorter than my last playthrough. The only reason it is because I will call it quits here, and I will do some research and figure out how to find the metal coil we need for the back monitor to get the one door unlocked to where we can use the security card to get it going, and then progress through the story from there and actually see what happens next, because as I mentioned in the first video, I actually haven't gotten this far in this game. So far just playing with you guys has gotten me a lot farther in Resident Evil 0 than I actually have on my personal play. Usually by now I would have just called it quits and moved on to a different game, just because my attention for trying to finish a game I'm not 110% invested in is very limited. And Resident Evil, at least for 0 and 1, is hard for me to maintain my focus. So thank you guys for giving me the incentive to actually focus on this and actually get this far. This is super cool. Yeah, so we'll call it a night here. I will make sure we save, because I really do not want to have to backtrack through everything we just went through. I am going to have Billy reload his gun. Rebecca is good, but I definitely need her to be in control to save the game. Excuse me, Billy. So our new updated save file is going to be on 3 like it was in the first video, but like I said, yeah, so I'll do some research, figure out where I'm going and how to find the last few items I need. And then once I figure all that out, I will walk through it with you guys. So lots to look forward to. The game could be going for a little while past the train. I honestly don't know. Guess we'll find that out together. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Night.